Okay, so we're live. Hi, everybody. Susan Batchelder here, and I'm honored to be recording here with Rob Hannley today. Our topic that we're going to discuss is mastering the art of the invite. I just thought that this is really such an important part of what we do here that it would be good to hear from multiple leaders who have been effective at this for years. And Rob is definitely one of them. So Rob, what would you like to share with people how they should invite? What are we talking about here?
Sure. Well, first of all, nice to chat with you as always. You had sent over in getting ready to do this little recording. It's a very impromptu kind of a thing, but you did send over a couple things. We talked about the topic. And I got to say that I'm, 100% in alignment about what this is. So, first of all, mastering the topic of the invite. So, the first thing that I'd like to say to everybody is there's an old joke, and it would say that the person that's looking at the business would say, "Is this selling?" And the right answer is not yes or no. The right answer was, "Do you like to sell?" So that's really the right answer. Oh no, I love to sell. Then you'll love this. Oh no, I don't want to sell at all. Well, then you'll love this. So it's kind of an old joke, but I think everybody can gravitate around like, hey, there's not any selling that is involved. There's not like now there is and there's not. We're just looking for a fit. We're looking for a match. And what I like overall about this topic is that you don't have to be a salesperson. So that's where this popped kind of into my mind is in doing this business, the very word that we have here in terms of inviting is interesting overall on its own because you'll hear different leaders, you'll hear different people. I heard somebody this morning, probably because of this reason, I heard somebody this morning on one of our training calls say, I just got good at inviting people, okay? And, of course, they're being a little bit self-deprecating because they're like a phenomenal salesperson and a leader and things like that. But really it is true at the core is you don't have to be a salesperson. So the first thing is that you are going to be authentic. So if you're watching this video, well, then number one, you're in this business with us. You're part of this group. Tells me obviously an awful lot about you, that you've got desires and dreams and goals and things like that. So that's why you're here. So why are you here is because you know that you found the answer that you've been looking for. That's really the whole thing. So kind of from that context, there's one of the talking points that you and I pass back and forth, Susan, about being authentic, okay? And then not trying to coerce or to trick or anything like that. But the thing that's funny is all of these thought processes about what not to do, they're relics really of like old time, like MLM, okay? So this comes really from the Amway meeting is what this comes from. At least it does for me. And, that could be a great company. I was in that. It was the first company I ever got into, by the way. So I was like a young pup. It was, way back a long time ago. Great personal development, but there's problems overall with it, which stem to what this question is. And that would be like, hey, Bob, hey, Mary, hey, Fred, whoever your friends are, come on over to the house. We're going to have burgers. Or come on over for dinner. We're going to have burgers. And they get there, and there's a whiteboard set up in the living room, and there's chairs all around it. And by the way, here's Marvin, and he's going to talk about a business that we're in. Okay, this is not authentic. It's trickery and things like that. So none of that stuff goes today at all. What people want now is they want to know, I always say they're hoping and wishing and wanting and praying. They're looking for something. They're just like, God, give me something that I can do, that I can actually just get unstuck and move on. So they want authenticity, all right? So the first thing is that you're going to tell them, hey, I got what this comes back down to is you're in the business and you're excited. So I think of this like I found a gold mine. This is where I want to go to in this, okay? So you wouldn't have to trick somebody to find a gold mine, okay? You wouldn't have to say, hey, come to this call or come to this meeting or come to something, and it's really not going to be something that it's not. What I tell people is, in the context of this group, is I tell them a little bit about, hey, you're going to meet some really cool people because this is all about relationship. You're going to hear some stuff. Sometimes if I can't really describe it, I tell them I can't describe it, for what the call is going to be. Sometimes I give them a little bit of nuggets, but you're going to be, straight up with them, and your enthusiasm is going to be natural, and it's going to come out because you should be thinking in your mind, like, this is a fantastic business, man. Like, I love this group. I love this company. I love all these different kind of things. And so I just want to tell you about, like, you need to be on this call. It shouldn't be something like, I hate the whole idea, like I'm reading a script and what's the next part and what's the next part. There might be things that you want to hit, but it should be really natural. Like, oh my God, hey, what do you got going on tonight? We have a call that's going on. You need to get on this. This thing is awesome. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have to be that, because people are looking to really connect and also to see themselves in your shoes. So I don't know, is that a good enough start, for this?
Yes. You touched on so many of the key points. The no trickery, that's a no-no. And I love how you described it. And really the authenticity. Maybe, rather than even considering having a script, like you said, maybe have some bullet points of things that you want to cover during the invite. That was an awesome answer. And I do want to point out, look at Rob, how he's he dressed up. He put on a shirt for this recording. And I'm in my work and do. So be real, however you present yourself, and be authentic. Thank you for that answer, Rob.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I put a shirt on because it's funny. I want to say I put a shirt on because this is a professional business. By implication, I'm saying you're not professional. Now, the truth of the matter is only until today, right now for me, it's 2:00. And until about 20 minutes ago, I had a T-shirt and gym shorts on. And not 20 minutes ago, I don't even think I took a shower until later. It's like I like to go to the gym and relax, and And actually, I moved into my office. I was sitting on my couch, as a matter of fact, a little while ago. And so I look just like you, except for I don't have the bun and stuff. But at the same time, I want to show respect. And I really, this is a serious business, okay? We talk about really life-changing money, a life-changing lifestyle. And it's a profession. So learning to connect with people that are wanting to be connected with, I guess I would say, whether they're consciously seeking or they're just open to, like, well, yeah, of course I hate my boss. I would be very open to something that would be legitimate that I could get out. I like to do things in a way that's going to instill maximum confidence to people and demonstrate, hey, this is professional. But I pride myself on working on my gym shorts, because I also know that this is what people really long for. The whole I don't drive in traffic and I don't have to ask anybody any kind of anything. So if you can master this part, that is, if you can master, and it's not even really hard to master. I mean, how hard would it take you? How long would it be? And what kind of effort would you have to put into? I'm going to invite you to something where you can learn about where there's a gold mine. And you don't have to call your friend up. I heard a guy talk about the gold mine analogy. I stole that from somebody else years ago. And they're talking about how do you contact friends and things like that. It was for a network marketing business. And you certainly can do that here. You can also get people that are cold, we call cold traffic and stuff like that. But the whole idea was you didn't have to think, oh, God, I'm so stressed out about how I'm going to show this to Bob and what's going to happen and how am I going to get him to look at this and all. Number one, you're very attached. So I get attached to no one at all. I don't want to say I don't care if the person doesn't show up, because I really do. I mean, it would be disingenuous to say, I don't really care. At the same time, I don't care. And what I mean by that is I know how the story turns out. I have faith and confidence in this process, not even necessarily in the business. I mean, I have faith and confidence in the business, that we market. It's great business. But I have faith and confidence in the process that we're using, and that this is timeless and it goes on, and what people, how people are going to react. to all this kind of stuff. So I don't really care. It's not dependent for me on any single person. So therefore, I really don't get stressed out at all. And the one thing, by the way, I will say in terms of what my mindset is number one, this is a gold mine. And then I am never in a perspective of, hey, oh my God, unless it was a good friend of mine, if it was somebody I really had a relationship, I really had a vested relationship from, and I'm like, you got to come and see. This is awesome. Now, I do that with people I don't even know, but part of the thing is, too, in the back of my mind all the time is I have a tape rolling around the back of my mind that this is my ball, and you're the one that's asking to play. This is my ball, and you're the one that's asking for me to play. And so, if you don't want to play, it's not a problem because not everybody's got a ball. And if you don't play, somebody else is going to come along that I'll either ask, hey, do you want to play ball? Or they'll ask me, hey, I'd like to play ball. So I never really get attached to any particular person until we're kind of a little bit more vested. And that should take any kind of stress or strain off of whoever might be watching this video, because this isn't dependent on any one person. We're not looking for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. In a top tier type of a business, when one person decides, hey, this is great, and they see what you see, you're going to make a lot of money. And by anybody's standard, even in the low side of what the thing is, of the spectrum, you're going to make a lot of money. So I wouldn't get, I don't get stressed out at all. I'm like, hey man, that's fine. And I'll continue to invite people. By the way, now we've got technology, of course, that'll facilitate that, better. But I don't call people up 17 times and doing like that. Invite them a time or two. So that's kind of what I would say about that.
That's awesome. Your video is frozen right now. Can you still hear me? I'll just give it a second in case it's still good, and cover that point. One of the key points that Rob said that I would really love to highlight is the trust the process.
Wow, it totally froze up.
Yeah. So did you pop off and pop back on again?
It did it automatically.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so going back to that, what I want to highlight.
And I had some really good things to say. I was probably frozen.
Oh, it's freezing again. Just 1 second. We'll just give it a minute, because then I can cut that out and see if it comes back on.
Okay. Did I talk for 5 minutes and then we think it was frozen?
I think we caught it all of what you said. I think.
Should I mention that if we're gonna
you were just pausing, and I was just gonna start talking when it froze. So I think we're good. Okay. So what I love what you said was trust the process. Trust the process. So for the people maybe that are fairly new to this, I think that would be a really important point to highlight. Okay. Is trust the process. I love how you explained that, because if you trust the process, your energy is going to come through in the conversation as you're inviting somebody, right?
Yeah, completely. And the process, part of the process is not to go too out into tree hugger land, or the abundance of this and the abundance of that and the universe. And I don't mean to disparage anybody. I hear these things so much, but it's kind of like you're not really attached to any one person. You think about it's not a pie like, oh, if I don't get this person, first of all, you don't get anybody. Again, it's almost like an interview. You're the one that's kind of in control. Again, it's my ball. If you don't like it, go home. Right. You also come along and play. But from an abundance side of this, it's not a pie, okay? So it's more like a river type of analogy. So if you go down to the river with a coffee cup or a bucket or whatever it is, there's more than enough, okay? So they're not dependent on if any one single person comes through. The business that we do, that we currently market in top tier, we're not even that dependent on that. It's a good business, I don't even know if I want to mention this so we could be popsicle. We could repurpose it sometime, but it's not dependent on the business. It's not even really necessarily dependent on this group, honestly. It really comes down, and it's not dependent on your sponsor. It really is going to be dependent on you. So to summarize in 10 seconds what the process is you're looking for somebody that's looking, okay? We generate a lead. Number two, we have we develop some rapport with the person. Hey, I'm a real person. And then number four, we kind of show them what we're doing, and then they make a decision. And this is different in this process because we're not doing $37 bottles of juice where we make $20 or $80. We're not trying to build a downline. This is more like consulting where we can actually be vested in somebody and we can actually take time to get to know them, to help them develop a marketing thing, and to help them develop a skill. And at the same time, we're not feeling like, God almighty, I made $37 from this guy. I talked to this person like 16 times. I mean, in this business, it's more like high-paid consulting is really what it is. And you don't have to be the answer person. Somebody else can help you and be the answer person really as well. So I'd say trust the process, be authentic, be excited about it. But at the same time, you're not really attached whether they do anything or not. That doesn't mean like you just blow people off, because you got to remember, people, this is a little bit like herding cats. And there's a saying that the fortune is in the follow-up. So you kind of got to balance a little bit between, Fred forgot, and he was a good prospect, and just saying, he's obviously next, you don't do that. You got to use a little bit of your feeling. And then at the same time, you follow up enough, but not too much. So that's kind of a recipe that you're going to have to kind of bake in yourself.
I love that. You have shared massive value here today, Rob. Thank you so much.
Good.
I think that's going to help people a lot. Just bring in some perspective. I appreciate you. With your generosity for sure. I have one more question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you have a suggestion or what is your practice of what do you invite people to first? Do you invite people to see what the opportunity is, or do you invite them to the value, the calls, the calls? Or
I understand the question correctly. So in the process that we use here, that we use now, typically I always have them look at what the business is, and then they come to some kind of an interactive call. I think that's maybe what you're asking me?
Yes, that is.
Okay. So the reason is that I don't want people to get all excited about being excited. Like, oh my God, what a great group of people. This is fantastic. What do you guys do? How much is it? What's it going to cost me to get in? How does it work? So that I don't want them to. They don't. So the first is kind of the steak. There's an expression: all sizzle and no steak. Right. So I don't want to have them. I mean, first of all, there's kind of some sizzle on the front end. However that might be, whether it's a voice broadcast, a postcard, however they're going to come into it. Maybe you talk to them. Hey, man, you see yourself being a waiter or whatever the rest of your life, however that's going to be. They're going to come in. They're going to go to some kind of a website. They're going to see a presentation, and that's really a filter funnel. It's a filter that's going to qualify them out, and not everybody makes it through that. That way we're only really working with the nuggets of gold, and then those people I take my time to invite to some kind of an interactive call. But I don't want people to be like, oh my God, this is fantastic. This is great. You guys are a great group, and tell me more about what you do. How does the comp plan work? That's actually, for this, it's completely backwards, and I would almost be hard-pressed to think of any other business or process where I would first take them to some kind of I suppose you could design it that way, but, hey, by the way, here's a great group of people who make $1 zillion, and we're going to show you what we do. But it's really not what we teach here. It's not what we do now at all.
Exactly. And thank you for answering that. I just want to make sure and clear that up, because some people might think, because our live and interactive calls are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they might be inclined to invite people to that first, but then that would just create a lot of questions, and it just makes
them get excited. I think they'll get excited for sure. They'll like it. They'll get excited, because the thing that people are really craving so much is they're just craving a real solution, and real means real. It means something that's authentic. And so they're looking for real, authentic people. They're not, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for some kind of nonsense with green screen backgrounds and Paris and all the kind of stuff like that. They're just looking like, man, how can I pay the bills? And my job sucks. or I got I have no retirement at all. Like, I mean, they feel hopeless. So if somebody's like, hey, I got a solution over here, it's very attractive. And so if you bring them to a call and they can meet people that are like excited about what they're doing and excited about their life and they like each other and stuff like that, they're going to get excited about it, but first they should actually have an idea about the mechanics of the business and how it works. And, maybe they're not at that time right now, maybe they're just not even remotely qualified. Again, and this isn't something that everybody's going to do, nor would I want everybody to do it. Because I mean, when we go places, we got to have. If everybody did this business, everybody be working from home. Nothing would ever get done.
Exactly. So, we wouldn't have gas at the fuel stations, groceries,
farmers, and people to sell us the groceries, and people to put the electricity in and fix our car and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you again, Rob. I appreciate you. And I look forward to the next one.
Okay. Thanks again.